It is pointless to resist.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Starlight Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 233, being recorded on November 1st already, 2023. I am your host, Darth Moocher. I got Scott Solo here with me.
Hi ho, what's up, nerds?
I got Bootleg Joe.
Howdy ho!
Call off the hounds. We found him alive and well. And we got Grand Admiral Franz.
Hey there.
Ooh, sounding nice.
I know. Hey.
Look at that. Listen to that microphone. It's like professional.
I know. When you can find the settings right, you know, after 6-7 months.
Years.
Yeah, 6 years. I mean, that's
for now. We're knocking on wood that it stays for the whole
that's
show.
true.
I could be in a tunnel.
Right.
Yeah, no problem. I know that Fallen Fett will be joining us here very momentarily as soon as he gets done signing off on his show, which takes 20 minutes alone just signing off. But we're here. Yeah. But we're here, of course. You know, we got the pit being digested and we have our Patreons to shout out. So I'm going to kick it over to Scott to get all the house cleaning out of the way so we could get some Star Wars talk going, man. I miss it. So Scott, take it away.
I hate cleaning house, man.
I do too.
God.
Very dusty.
All right.
Man.
It is. Seriously. Hey, special shout out to the Shadow Council. Ooh. That is our Patreon group. Without all of you, we wouldn't. Chris's microphone wouldn't sound as good as it does without all of you. And that would be AJ from the Forbidden Panel, all Star Wars fans, Brandon and Anya Epler, Cliff, Crystal E., who also gets a special shout out for helping me clean up at homecoming the other night. Thank you, Crystal.
Hi,
Darth Josepher.
Sorry.
Hi. That's okay. She was also my buddy yesterday at Halloween. She was kind of like my handler whenever I'm all dressed as Boba Fett running into walls. So a special shout out, of course, Darth Josepher, Dennis McGrath, Don the Dad Dorn, Don and Brady of the Escape Pod podcast, Eric Grubb, Flavy Davy, formerly of the Nerds with Attitude, Ryan and the Star Joes podcast, Gavin Connor from the All Cure Holy Hour podcast, Justin the Vanilla Thunder, Mervine Bolanos, Matt Logic. Ew, I kind of went like surfer dude right there. Matt Logic and like Papa Schmidt dude. So yeah, if you want to become one of the Shadow Council members, just like scan that QR code right there and donate. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. You got carried away.
I did. I do. That's what happens. Oops. You should have heard me yesterday. The minute I put on that stupid helmet, I was like, all right, everybody, let's go hunt down some bounties.
Or you're just like, I got to take this off to tell everybody that I'm Boba Fett. I'm Boba Fett. I'm Boba Fett.
Wearing it, I get it.
Yeah.
Because I'm running into walls, can't breathe. It's terrible in that thing. Let's shout out the pit. We've got, let me see, Don the Dad Dorn, Gavin Connor, Jake Gooding. What's up, Jake? How you doing, man?
What's up, Jake?
Crystal E, Santo 1414, and hey, anybody else? Say hello. We'll give you a shout out because that's what we do.
No problem. Jake Gooding checking in, saying, hope you guys have a great podcast tonight. Wanted to say what's up before I go back to work. Peace out. Back to work, huh? That sucks. Well, thank you very much for checking in. And
Jake is my other daughter's boyfriend, and he went down with us to the Fan Strike Back exhibit down in Santa Monica.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, he said it was the first time he's ever been around something like that with Star Wars. So
like exposed. Well, he's gonna be your son-in-law.
So, yes.
Then he's got to be exposed. He's got to be around Star Wars. So
seriously,
he's exposed.
Rick Jones checking in. Ernie is coming soon. Yes, thank you, Rick Jones, and welcome.
That's
to the
what
show, man.
She said.
I'm not gonna go there, but anyway, I think for the most part, like this week, from what we went through last week to this week, there's a lot of stuff that went on, and Star Wars all around, not just in general, just got kind of like pulled through the ringer a little bit, and we'll talk about it. But also, I feel our very own Grandma Franz is still getting pulled through the ringer when it comes to collectibles, because like all of these pops, because he collects pops, right? So collecting World and Star Wars goes hand in hand, but he collects pops, and a bunch were released, and of course some Black Series and vintage collection stuff to people who do action figures, but still no battle droids. Like still no battle droids, Chris. And Black Series is getting another battle droid. I mean, this is like
I think it's time to give Chris the floor and let him take center stage and implore Funko to listen to the words that come out of his mouth.
I email Funko all the time. I go on their website and suggest it. And I hit every social media post they ever have for Star Wars that's not a battle droid. They know who I am at this point. So F you, Funko, for not doing this. And it's the Clone Wars anniversary, right? So they're putting out the Clone Wars one and a couple different Clone Wars exclusive.
I mean, come on, dude.
Can I get the main army of the villains, of the bad guys? I mean, it's like not giving me a stormtrooper out of the originals. Right? How can I not have a battle droid at this point?
I feel they have a little like a countdown tab on their wall saying it's like 1,175 days for Chris not to have a battle droid. Next day tomorrow, it's like, dude, every time. And
at first it was like, I could use a clone or two, and now I've got a plethora of clones.
Yeah,
I've got clones up the wazoo. I'm done with the clones for a minute. Just give me a couple battle droids. And I don't want every single version, but like Scott said before, right, in Kenobi or whatever, what was it, Mandalorian, I'm going to get the one with the clipboard. And Rick Jones, I want a B1, B2 Droideka 3-pack. That's what I want. I just want to knock them all out at once. And that's the exact suggestion I've been telling them. Actually,
they're going to do like a sculpt, like a single sculpt in one pose. And then they're going to release like 20 different color variations. All the repaint. They'll do the slash, like the old episode 1 action figures. You had the gunshot and the slash version and all that. You're getting all the different colors to the point where you're going to be like, enough already.
Now I have every battle droid in the army.
Right.
That's what's going to happen.
But at this point, with like Funko Pops, I mean, that's like the major thing that's missing, right? You know, I mean, that's
dude,
like,
I mean,
yeah.
I go through all this. There was a point where you didn't have any Ahsokas, right? So the one or two Ahsokas were really expensive. I've got like 16 Ahsokas, including the ones on pre-order. I'm done with Ahsoka now. I've got 28 Grogus. I'm done with Grogu. You know, I get why you can't pose them, so you got to do different poses with them. But come on, you know, even the Ahsoka clones, right?
Mm-hmm.
This guy was the exclusive from BAM. He has 1 foot behind the other because he's pretending to run.
Right.
Put his foot forward. Now he's the Amazon or Hot Topic exclusive.
Right.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
You know, they but you know what you got to give me? Give me
Same
this
thing with the Mandalorian
before
too.
you give me a battle droid. Just give me a battle droid.
I know. That's a glaring problem that I'm seeing. I'm like, geez, still no battle droids for Chris.
How do I have Hu Yang?
Yeah, right.
I have Ned. I have B2E2. I don't know how many Rogue One, help me.
K2SO.
K2s. You know, I got K2s up the wazoo. There's
Do you
all
have
these
DO?
droids from everything. Yes, I could have had a life-size DO, but I didn't want that one, right? But I've got the regular DO.
Wow.
Every damn
A
droid.
Dio and no battle droids. It's like I said, it's funny at this point, and I think there's like 3 executives sitting there just going like, we can't give Chris.
It's also
It's
also
like
one of the
Hey,
biggest, like Roger. How can you not have a battle droid? Anyway,
3
that was my
movies.
soapbox.
3 movies, an entire Clone Wars 7 seasons of Clone Wars,
Yep.
plus the 2 micro series of Clone Wars, plus we had them in the Mandalorian.
Plus in the Rebels.
What else have we had them?
Rebels.
Yeah, we had them in Rebels.
iconic.
They're
Iconic.
Aftermath. They
everywhere.
remember the Bones is a battle droid.
Bones.
Yeah,
They
Mr.
talk
Bones.
about him in all these books and all these things, and battle droids still existing and being on different. Why do I not have a battle droid? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
I got like 4
I'm pretty
Dooku's
sure they're
now.
watching this and they're saying, "Be careful what you wish for."
Right. It's
Like,
all
hey,
coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
but
I'll
at this
take it for a
point, it's like,
minute.
you know,
There's like 40 of them just waiting.
I can fill Jabba's palace, right? I
Right.
mean, I have all these aliens for the cantina. I got all this stuff going on, but no main central character.
Yeah.
Well,
and
next-
then
That's a good point too. Droideka on BS, yeah.
Next year is the 25th anniversary of the Phantom Menace. Maybe.
Probably what they're waiting for.
25th. Right.
Yeah, 25th
Maybe.
anniversary of it.
Yeah, mate. Dude, there's always
Quarter
next year.
Quarter century since episode 1 came out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's like saying there's all the carrot on the stick. They can't give because then it's a complete collection almost. But But Rick Jones, like, okay, just switching gears to Black Series real fast. So Droideka and Super Battle Droids are coming. That is already slated for Black Series. And so is Anakin, Padme. I mean, to me, I felt like they just finally let's bring in Ernie the Fallen Fed here.
Hey, Anakin.
Hey, what's up,
really
Ernie?
good. What's up, Ernie?
Hi.
Yeah, I did.
How you doing?
Groovy.
How you doing?
How you doing?
It's we're talking about like the releases of I was trying to get to like Hasbro Black Series in general seem to be like, okay, they're at a point where they're everything they do, everybody bitches about like repaints and all these new little things to do, and they're getting caught up. They're getting caught up on like the current stuff, right? They're actually getting better at that. It seemed to me like the latest pipeline reveals are like, okay, look, let's take episode 1, the first movie, and let's just start going down the line, Destroyers, Padme, Anakin, and start to go through that. And then maybe because all their pipelines are like prequel era. They even announced Darth Sidious, prequel era Darth Sidious. They've got Ki-Adi-Mundi. They got, like other things that are just concentrating strictly on the prequel. So I'm hoping that they're going in line and starting to check off things that the figures that we don't have, and it seems to me like they're turning things around a little bit that way instead of like scattered.
I can understand that, but at the same time, we need a lot of update to them for the price that everything's going. And just, I'm sorry, the best way to compare it is a classified or the Jada Street Fighter toys that are out right now. Like for the same price of money, and actually Star Wars has still been a little bit higher if you get that exclusive at Target or another one, but the $24.99 mark, and you're getting a lightsaber and that's it, or a repaint of that, that's more. Now I get when you say like we're getting all these other, right? But little Annie isn't coming with enough, or the Padme, she just comes with the blaster.
Yeah.
That's getting
We
a
had
little
this
bit to the point
earlier too.
of you're only getting to a figure. So it's very hard for me to be back into it and say okay with that, right?
Yeah.
But I do feel then if you're doing this and how you're laying it out right now and the differences in the cases, I think we should go back to a case of that. So like this case is episode 1. This is like that. I don't think we should be spreading it out, because as far as a collector and a fan is, you have that choice to say, yes, I want episode 1, or no, I'm not going to get this case. That's not for me. And let them go out. I know that they just had the double release of 2 cases out right now that people had on pre-order, and they're getting to ship to them. That's a very hard hit for getting such a wide variety of everything. I know it's exciting to some as far as, I have 16 Star Wars figures, but at the same time, a lot of them are double packed in there as well. The ones that you're getting
the vintage
are,
collection.
Yeah, correct, are all over the place. And I think for both those two is, I think if we stuck to different waves, kind of like Marvel does, is to get that. G.I. Joe Classified is able to go all over the place with everything because they're a wide variety of characters. Here, though,
they ship solid cases, though. With G.I. Joe, they ship you a solid case of, say, Tunnel Rat, or they ship Grunt in a solid case. I don't think... I think part of the problem is if they shipped a solid case of episode 1 figures, then you've got the people that don't collect prequels, but if you inject an Ahsoka figure or a New Hope figure or something like that, you're guaranteed to sell more units that way.
Yeah. If it's like one,
gonna want those.
Yeah. If it's like one Padme per case, but there's an Ahsoka, the new current stuff, I get it. And I 100% agree with you on the accessories. Like that's something that the Black Series has suffered from day one.
But the new stuff has to be new stuff. It can't be the same new. It's the same new stuff. It can't be Mando 6 times. It can't be the same stuff.
Exactly.
And that's what's getting annoying.
Exactly.
Or these older molds as well too. You're still using all these old molds of everything when you've redone something, and that's very upsetting as well too. If you're going to get something, say in Marvel, they may not get it right the first time or the second time, but they are trying, right? They're giving you new molds of stuff if they're reproducing something. Using this and doing a Boba Fett 8 times of the same old mold that you can't do very much with is kind of, even for me, being a Boba Fett mark of, I don't need that.
But I also feel, Ernie, like those things have been set in motion that they can't just like retract on. So like if a figure, it came out today, but they produced it 5 years ago, like in production, they've already done all this work, and then like a newer version comes out. It's not always that newer version precedes everything else further, because they've got stuff already in production or in the pipeline. So we got to let it filter out. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that a new repaint of Boba Fett has the new sculpt going forward at a certain point. But like 5 repaints, and one of those repaints is the new mold plus 4 of the old, you know what I mean? So it's a whole thing. But like, I'm always, like I said, I'm optimistic when it comes to like them trying to right the ship. Okay. First thing is give us the characters we want. The second is give us the characters with the accessories. And I know that we're not getting both. Okay. So it's either they go all in and they give us all this stuff, and then it's plain whatever, but I mean,
and then they give you a deluxe figure like the Chrysanthemum that just came out that was accurate to the Book of Boba Fett as a deluxe figure, and the only thing deluxe about him was he's a little wider than Chewbacca, but he's also a little shorter than Chewbacca. He comes with one gun and no other accessories.
Their measure of what a deluxe is way off compared to what a classified.
It's like by weight.
Oh yeah, dude, seriously, yeah.
And that's all it's got to be.
Yeah.
Like in this new release of figures, did they have they released Paz Vizsla again?
Yes. Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, this is why, because in the window package where we got him last time, it was just Heavy Mando. He didn't have his name on the package. Now he gets his name on the package, so you get Paz Vizsla in a window package.
Yeah.
And great. That is the reason why.
And it's stuff like that gets very upsetting, and you make a spectacle of it.
Yeah,
you make that as a real reveal.
Yes, you're right.
That kind of shit is so upsetting.
He went on clearance last time he was out.
Correct. He's a good figure, but if you've already dismissed him, you don't need to re-release him this way. That was a waste of product. Rick Jones brings up a great point. Then stop all of these repaints and everything and give us the aliens and the droids.
Well, that's why I feel it's coming, Ernie. That's what I was trying to get at. Like, I feel like they're droid destroyers, super battle droids, Kai-Mundi, Anakin, Pat. I mean, these are brand new sculpts. These are brand new figures, and it seems like they're going in order. From episode 1 on. Like, we'll see what they do in the future.
As I feel though, I'd have to say a no to that because of me as a collector, I feel like it's too late now.
No, it's not.
You don't have me back.
Come on.
You don't have me back in the game to get that because at the same time, if you're showing all this, Figuarts comes out and wants you to get that new Obi-Wan.
But you're a business dude. You're not going to give everybody what they want in the first 5 years of collecting. It's a carrot on a stick. It's always been like.
At this point, I feel with all the bitching and the collecting behind it, I feel that Hasbro should give it up and be like, okay, we had our hands tied, we couldn't, and I think they should let somebody else take it over now.
Well. Hasbro is a pendulum, and no one else is going to do that. You know that that's just not. There's a reality and there's a wish list, right? It's like reality is this is what we're getting, and we're going to have to just
licensing wise because
they're not going to get rid of it. Yeah,
what they are and what they're told to do and everything like that. So I don't know. I wish they would give it up at this point though and give it to somebody else.
Maybe, but then you're starting all over again.
They're making money though. That's the thing.
And it'll end up being a 7-inch scale. They'll make it a different scale to where it doesn't.
Match anything
Nebulous.
else.
Nebulous B check in. And finally, a poofy haired Senator Palpatine figure. No, the Emperor version of the. I know it's the Emperor version.
That's Black Series or Vintage?
Yeah, Black Series.
Really?
And then Rick Jones says, SHS doesn't go deep. They give you key characters. You know what I mean? You're not going to get
they won't.
And stuff, so.
But I'm saying for my key characters, though, I'm going to stick to them.
There's a very good argument,
good price, and what you're going to get.
There's a very good discussion there, Ernie, like throughout the whole thing. Like I said, first and foremost, Hasbro's a business, right? They will give enough to keep people involved. Yes, they lost a lot and they gained some. And with the repaints, resculpts, it's easy to get back into it. It really is easy to jump in and catch up in a way. So, like I said, there's an argument there. But there is also what I'm noticing is like the riding of the ship a little bit, even if it's incremental, even if it's small. You know what I mean? I don't see them. I'm hoping that it's going to become a normal thing moving forward. Like, okay, we can't go this far to the left. We have to go a little bit, and then they'll like go way over here and give us like 17 Mandos. And it's like, oh my God, so anyway, I just wanted like, there's room for discussion on more of that, when it comes to Hasbro and their business practices and everything. Like, why does one line do very, very good and two of them are not, And then they drop lines as soon as they enter them, it's like.
Speaking of like Indiana Jones,
yeah, that's
Yeah, but what I do like, what they have done properly is they've caught up. So now we're getting we're doing the pre-orders, but we're getting figures a lot quicker. So
yes, we are.
That is nice in a way, but at the same time, at the speed like they're coming in, they're hitting us with G.I. Joe Classified. It's like, okay. Pump the brakes a little bit, guys, because I also do the vintage collection, and vintage collection keeps knocking out cases. It's like today at GameStop down the street, they had the whole 3 3/4-inch Grand Admiral Thrawn wave from, they had Thrawn and Morgan Elsbeth and Jedi Luke, a whole bunch of a brand new case I had not seen yet.
It's tough, but like I said, we'll see what happens. Well, I think 2024 you see a big difference in a lot of things in how they release the figures and what you're getting. I think that's going to be like the true test, because right now it's catch up. You're getting all these things in the mail, and it's like, whoa, yeah, because I pumped the brakes a little bit.
Max Rebo is the Forrest Gump of the Star Wars universe. We need more Max figures. We could definitely use. I'd love to see a.
How about a Max figure?
I don't understand the comparison. Am I the only one of the 5?
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
I don't either, but what I do see is we need Max Rebo, and I'm down with the Max Rebo 6-inch.
For sure.
That's what I took out of it, Chris. I'm like,
I'll go with it.
I'll take a Max Rebo figure. I don't know. I don't understand the Forrest Gump reference, Nebulous. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay, Nebulous. I do. They just don't. Yeah.
You never know what you're gonna get.
Mansplain it to us, then.
I want a Max Rebo piano for toddlers.
Heck yeah.
No joke. Put him right in the middle and just let him play around. That'd be cool. Why hasn't that been licensed and done?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a notch below Battle Droids and Pops. I don't. Yeah, right below.
It's the same thing of why don't we have more aliens and everything? You know, Cantina aliens, everything you can do. A Max Rebo box set that would be freaking amazing.
Yeah. Hammerhead is coming too, by the way. Too. So I mean, like, I know it's not like Hammerhead in 15 different figures, but again, it's they're coming. It's just gonna maybe instead of a 10-year release schedule, it's gonna be a 20-year release schedule, and everybody you'll get everything, but it's gonna take you the full 20 years to collect everything. Because they're a business, right? I mean, that's what if you want longevity, why do cars keep doing new models every single year? It's not like here's one and done and then move on because there's not enough IPs, there's not enough stuff. If you give it to everybody at once, like G.I. Joe is, people are starting to drop certain figures because they can't afford it. So they have to spread it out in certain ways. So
that's what I'm saying, Santo 1414. What's your max on pricing? They keep going up. And that's why I bring up the Figuarts one. Because for $15 more, I can order a Figuarts one, get an import figure with accessories, articulation, and everything, be able to use it. I may not be able to use it with my Black Series, but I'm picking other stuff now than Star Wars than a Black Series because I'm going to get more for my money that I'm spending.
Here's relatively the same scale. I mean, I've got my Figuarts Han Solo up there next to Luke, and he looks great. But it's not $15 more. You're doubling the price.
Some are
at the
$100.
minimum. It's $60. Most of them are like the Mandalorian and the Boba Fett. Those were $100 exactly. Yeah. So I mean, there's a big gap there.
Now I get that for toy photography, and I get that maybe for out of box posing type stuff. But most of you guys are in box collectors. What's it matter?
No,
no. I mean, you have box and inbox.
I don't. Right? I open all mine. So, but yeah.
And Ernie, you're in box. You're not out of box. What's it matter if I have a couple extra?
Oh yeah, but Star Wars though, I used to order 2 cases.
Yeah, but I'm saying for an inbox collector, would it matter? I'm just trying to get this figure and display this figure that I have this figure, and here it is. What's it matter if it has 6 guns or 2 or three heads?
The accessories, yeah.
Right. What do the accessories matter at that point? If I'm an inbox collector,
as we grow as collectors, and what again the pricing of stuff.
Yeah,
what you're paying for compared to others, even seeing it in the boxes, I'm not getting the bang for my buck anymore.
But that's just my thing. Is like, is it banging if it's in the box? I mean, I just need the figure at that point, right? If it was posed differently in the box with different accessories, maybe, but they just stand there. So I mean, that's just my thinking. As a like when I get all my stuff, I get the one like when I was doing toys, right? I get it. I'm up there. I guess I wouldn't have thought about the extra accessories and the worth and stuff because I'm not pulling them out. I don't know. I guess $25 would be my limit, by the way. That'd be the and that's expensive.
That's where we're at. Yeah,
like to do it. Yeah. Any higher, I wouldn't buy any. But
they're past that now. So seeing that, I mean, I've grown as a collector. So I mean, as they stopped with the plastic windows and everything, what am I getting them for an inbox collector for? I can't see. It's a drawing of the front on it. Yeah. You're admiring the figure that's inside.
This is my second.
And you're lucky if it's in there.
Collection. Yeah, this is my second collection, and this second collection is open. Everything's open. There is zero mitten buying because it was too stressful. And like Chris was saying, like it's in a box. Like, what do I care if it comes with 18 guns? I'm not, so.
But so you're an open box collector.
Yeah. Okay? So accessories, I would love.
You say that, but right. Let's say the the Gamorrean guard was did he have a bunch of stuff with them?
No, just the axe.
Nope. 2 axes.
Two different axes. Does he use both axes in your stand right
You're
now?
Right. No, you're 100% right. I think it's the initial option to how you want to display your figure.
That's what it is. Because like even Darth Maul say, right? He's got 3 different options. Emperor Palpatine has things coming out for his hands. All this stuff.
I don't display. You're right. I have a
box of accessories that I'll never see again.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I just like
for photography and stuff. Yeah. That's what accessory packs.
Yeah.
If that's how accessory packs.
That'd be smart.
Force hands, sabers. That'd be awesome.
That'd be smart. Here's the thing. We are paying the same amount of money for a Black Series Star Wars figure that we are for a G.I. Joe classified figure. A G.I. Joe classified figure comes with multiple weapons, places to put it all, maybe an extra hand or 2, sometimes an extra head, a backpack. It's coming with all of these added bonus accessories where with Star Wars, so you have options for display. And me personally, mine are displayed a certain way. I'll come in, clean them, put them in a different pose, switch things out, put them back on display again. Where's Where's the value added in Star Wars? You know, it's the same price, but you're getting a lot less.
Yeah.
They don't do Build-A-Figures like Marvel does Build-A-Figures with their collections, right? G.I. Joe doesn't do that because you get all these accessories. So there's a comparable value in the cost of those two. Where Star Wars, it's almost like we're paying extra just for the IP. Well, you know, and I know there are licensing and there are licensing fees that go along with it as well. I mean, they also license Marvel. They own G.I. Joe outright, so they can kind of do whatever the hell they want to do. They own Transformers outright, so they can do whatever the hell they want to do.
Bottom line, it's the IP. I mean, no matter who has the license agreement, whoever, if Mattel grabs it, I guarantee you they will not give. They'll have the same mentality. Slap Star Wars on it, people will buy it. That's slowly fading. Or diminishing. Okay, I don't think it's going to go away completely, but if Mattel had it, they would do the exact same thing: $24.99 and a figure and a saber. Go ahead, Joey.
I mean, I kind of get like what Ernie's saying about the price difference, because I would gladly pay $80-$90 for SHF because you're getting 3 different heads, multiple different hands. The figures are better in articulation, and the faces are a little bit. Sometimes, every once in a while, you'll get that messed up one, but the faces are a better sculpt. So, like I understand what Chris is saying. Also, if it's just gonna sit in a box, what does it matter?
Yeah.
But like me, I don't open my stuff. You know, I leave them in the box. So. Guys, you're supposed to laugh. It was a joke.
Well, I was just looking behind you. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
where's the inbox collection?
I don't want to be the dick here.
But Chris's point, unless you're
just saying, I get
every
what
month,
Chris
what
is
do you
saying
care?
about it shouldn't be a problem to spend the $25 for a figure that's going to stay in a box.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would gladly pay the $90, $80 for a SHF that comes with a lot more than what a black shirt.
When's the last time you've changed that Obi-Wan's pose?
The last time? I haven't even touched him since I put him there, which is probably about a year or two ago. But for example, this way. For example, the only one I pre-ordered was Little Anakin. He's the only one I pre-ordered.
He's awesome.
That's the one that I don't have. Yeah. And same thing with I messaged you guys earlier about Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
I missed on the Qui-Gon the first time I came out with SHF.
Well, so also with SH, they might announce them, but they might not even produce them. That's the thing too, and that hurts. That hurts with SH because I remember when Ernie a long time ago with like Jabba and Wick, all these things, and maybe I don't know.
That happens with the shows, but like Qui-Gon, these are pre-orders are letting you know are coming out.
Yeah.
So that's when they have a show and they show everything that's coming out.
Yeah. And that's going to be $100 figure, by the way. So
the SH Indy just started arriving, and I really wish I would have ordered one because the Indiana Jones looks insane.
The price of SHF though has really gone down. It depends on where you order it though and how you get it.
Yeah.
So like the Indy I just got for $60. It was $58.99. Ami. They don't have it no more, but I pre-ordered. So the price of SHF has really gone down. It used to be high in that, but now they've expanded. Like the Dragon Ball figures are in Target now, and those are at $35.99. A full SHF figure.
But
so
Dragon Ball.
You have that. Yeah. But as far as their licensing,
that's what I'm
you can't do that because Hasbro runs it in here, but the prices have gone down. Your Qui-Gon's probably going to be around $70. So instead of that 110 and everything, it has gone down as far as the pricing in that.
Yeah.
Your Mayfex and everything of those are still staying a little bit pricey.
Did they put out a price for the 4-pack?
No, but I bet you're looking at $99 for that 4-pack. Damn. For that Heir of the Empire.
I would even say 125 probably.
Oh, it's four figures, $24.99 a piece.
And I'm gonna have to pay it for one figure because I don't care about the other 3.
Or maybe someone will piece it out on eBay and you'll get it for $30.
There you
go. Maybe.
Dude, for a Jor's Cyber, it'll be a $60 figure. If somebody, they'll be like that.
But for Santo's point, and then we'll kind of end the collecting debate because it is a debate and it's a huge talk. There is no black and white answers, right? There's things like, again, we're arguing against business practices, and we're we have to succumb to the powers that they have the rule, they make the rules. And what Santo's point was, when do you have that choice to stop? And what's that price break where it's like, look, I just can't afford it, it's too much, I'm gonna stop, and whatnot. And if you're a collector, it's a hard decision. So I don't know if there's a number in my head as like, okay, where do I stop like collecting that line, or do I just pick and choose at this point? You know what I mean? Like, and then I look at exactly what Ernie's talking about. If I'm only getting a figure for $30 now, and they haven't increased the like anything that's like even more like I said, force hands or whatever, then that's gonna cause, they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot if they just keep raising prices and nothing that's coming with it.
No value added.
And I think classified is going to be your test. You know what I mean? If those go up to $27.99 and they can go, well, you're getting all these accessories. The one thing about classified, Chris, every piece almost on like 90% of the figures fit on the figure itself, so you can display the figure with every knife, weapon, on it, right? So. Yeah, but
that makes sense with classified.
Yes,
it makes sense because they're built like that. A Star Wars guy, nobody's built.
No, and you're right. Yeah. I have it one post, and that's it. It doesn't matter what it comes with. It's like they go in a little box.
I was just talking about my own personal, because I have that.
Me too.
The
that's
ones
personal.
I do are all open. They all have some kind of accessory.
Thing.
Yeah. That's all. I was just wondering because, like I said, if it's deluxe, I can call it deluxe and argue about the price. But if I'm not going to open it, right? If I'm going to open it, it's a different story. I'm not going to open it. What's it really matter? Because I'm just collecting that figure. Yeah. Now, are they? Now, I haven't collected at all. Are they back in Windows?
Yes.
Okay.
Now they're
everything is now. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. The waves just got released. They're still in those old boxes.
Yeah, they're catching
the
up.
other half, the second one is like half and half.
Right.
So you have that, and just me as a growth of collector, like I said, where I used to buy 2 cases, and so that didn't matter as far as hanging on the wall or opening or anything. Now I have to look at it more in the price way, and I'm not going to go for it. And then I get into the licensing and everything like that. Everybody has to pay licensing for a figure, but when Jada comes to the table and they give you an extra head and effects,
it ain't Star Wars though. That's the only thing.
And hands, and they still have to pay for licensing though.
It doesn't.
And it's super articulated. And you can get more for that in $24.99. I'm putting back a Boba Fett and I'm grabbing the Chun-Li. Because I'm not going to pay the $27 for the Boba Fett, and I'm getting more for my $1 now.
Wow.
Yeah. First off, what's up, Kevin Montgomery? Welcome to the show. Glad you found us. Really appreciate that. On top of that, it's already affected me in my collecting. I'm down to cherry picking like maybe one figure in Black Series every other case.
That's me.
But vintage collection, they're kicking ass. I mean, the prices on those haven't skyrocketed quite as much yet. I don't know if there's a line for me on that though, because everything I own basically is 3 3/4 inch Star Wars. I mean, it's
lopsided when it comes to Hasbro, because the demand for Black Series and vintage is higher than vintage. They proved it on the last live stream. I mean, they're just not fulfilling, and it's so hard to go back.
Do you think it's?
I don't know. I think it's an attitude thing. I don't think they have the right marketing.
Star Wars line is like got a smaller budget to work with than the G.I. Joe classified. I mean,
no,
they don't have that. Or what is it?
I don't know. Know.
Right,
we're gonna have to
Hasbro careers. I'm gonna see if I can get
in. We'll definitely explore it more, because again, I think that the debate's never over on it, and everybody's preference is different when it comes to collecting and what they're willing to do and how they want their stuff. And bottom line, no one's ever going to be happy. So no matter what, it's never going to be like, oh, this is perfect. So we just have to roll with it, right? Especially with the fan, like speaking of Star Wars and like nothing perfect, right? Did you guys? I know Chris brought this up in the chat and is about like, hey guys, go watch South Park, go watch the new South. And then something happened. I was all over YouTube and it was everywhere. It was like South Park really, really drug Kathleen Kennedy, Disney through the ringer. I mean, they really kind of like drug them through the mud on this episode that they put out.
They didn't hold nothing back.
And I was always fearful. I'm like, when South Park has our attention, or like when they put their attention onto like, they're looking our way. They're looking at Star Wars, looking at Kathleen Kennedy. This is going to be brutal, right? I don't know if guys in the pit watching and stuff like that, but I mean, I didn't see anything wrong with. I kind of agreed with everything that was on there, but at the same time, I cringe because it's our stuff, man.
Yeah, but like, at the same time, it wasn't all anti Kathleen Kennedy, anti Disney. It also pointed out the stupidity of a lot of the fan base out there with their rantings and their rating and their ratings as well. So
it was probably an 80. It was probably an 80-20, maybe 90-10 that way. But it was a good bash on Disney. It was really the end when they turned it around. And you're like, when they pulled the what? It's not our fault. It's everything is Kathleen Kennedy's fault. That's they turned that route. It was like, yeah, you guys are out of control. Or even
Holo Chronicles checking in.
Cartman dwelling so much on it that he's having dreams about it. You know, they're gonna turn it into it was Ernie, did you watch it?
No, I didn't get a chance.
Oh man, it's comical, dude. I mean, it's really great. All the characters are replaced by diverse females at some point in the panderverse, and they start. Cartman goes into one universe, and another black woman comes in as the Cartman in this universe.
Cartman.
Yeah. And the guys are supposed to accept it. And every adult they go to the principal and they're all, this is Cartman. This is supposed to be Cartman. He's like, I don't see a problem with it. He's like, you don't see a problem with this? It was just so great. So great. But the point was they blamed Kathleen Kennedy for all of this. And they even go to Disney and you see Iger and everybody else. And it's funny because Kathleen Kennedy does not rule the world. Kathleen Kennedy runs Lucasfilm. Right. But it's so funny that they take it up and that everything in the whole world, whether it be Disney's problems or the handyman and regular people with AI, everything is Kathleen Kennedy's fault.
Like Ernie, they go, they're remaking Bambi, and Kathleen Kennedy's out there on the lawn saying, "You die, you this one, make this one a chick and make her gay, make this one chick and make her gay." And
her tagline is "Put a chick in it and make her gay and lame
and lame."
Yeah. So yes. What South Park did is that, again, like, you know, she's not a Disney executive. She's only in charge of that. So like it was almost like funny. They blamed her for everything, right? It's comical, but like I said, when I was watching it at the same time, I'm going like, man, I can't really argue a lot of points. I just have to sit and laugh at it and be like, yeah, you know,
hey, it was. Even when it hit me, right? Like even when it took a shot at people noticing it, I'm like, man, that's funny. I don't care who you are. Yeah. That's hitting this side or that side or whatever. Because you know the South Park guys aren't really. They're in the middle. I think you know politically they're Republican. They're probably like me, everything, right? Everything. They're a little more Republican than anything, but they're pretty much in the middle and hate everybody. They said what they say in their words. We hate Republicans, but we really fucking hate. You know that way. That's the way. That's my one for that. But you know, it's wild that they can hit them all, and it made all good sense. It was funny. It's a good episode to watch, and if you have some sense of humor, I mean, you can't take it serious.
That's what it is.
Political statement with all of us and make a fight about it. Because I see the online. Oh, that's straight against you. Oh no, that's straight against you. I'm like, what are you going to fight about? Just laugh at the series and say this is funny, and it kind of caught everybody in a bubble. And it's like, this is where the world is, because they just call it like they see it, right? And that's what I try to do, and I'm really scared to do that a lot of times. But that's where it was. Everything was right there. It was so great. So
you got to remember to put LOL at the end of every text. So
I know.
Then everything's fine. Or no offense, but
man, when she explained that I'm doing this because I was getting all this hate mail and called me the C word and all this. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I did that. And that was all me.
She's all 10,000 times. He goes, more like 12,000 times. 12 million.
This is all your fault. Well, I wouldn't have wrote them if your movies didn't suck. Well, I wouldn't have made my movies suck if you didn't write those. It was like a never, and it was a who did what.
There was at the very end, everybody comes to that realization, right? Like Kathleen Kennedy and Cartman go back to their reality, and everybody's rights the wrongs and all stuff. And there's that speech at the end with Kennedy and Bob Iger sitting there, and she's all, I know my problem now, and I know this. So when we're going to go back to the writing table, and we're going to make great stories, and we're going to do this. And Iger's like, okay, yeah, let's get, and then ushers her out. Like
after her big story, and Cartman said, this is the best explanation of why Disney movies suck now. Like when he did that with her, right? Like straight faced, went completely normal and calm.
Yeah, and I've seen like so many different, all the haters out there are taking it and running with it, right? They're just like the best thing in the world to happen, right? The best thing, you know. And then they're making headlines like Kathleen Kennedy is outraged,
she's savage,
like, and I don't even think she said anything about
it's whatever. Because Star Wars Theory got copyright hit again. from Paramount Plus, and he went on no less than 5 times complaining. Look, I've been blocked again. They won't let me speak, but they'll let everybody else speak, and blah 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 blah. So we had this big old thing again on Twitter because he wasn't allowed to speak his mind about it.
What? What did he get? Copy?
No, it's not that he don't let us
because he was
his mind.
reacting to it while playing it. You know what I mean? So he got a copyright hit.
Well, yeah.
He's not complaining that he can't speak his mind. He's complaining he can't make money off speaking his mind.
Yeah,
that's
what he got demonetized. Yeah.
I mean, he's not saying it, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That was it. So that made the big stink there. So that got it a little more attention on our side. But it was. I don't know. I just thought it was really funny that watching South Park, and they know kind of they had their thumb on the pulse, man.
Well, they had their thumb on the pulse of because you could take that and you can plug in any studio in that. They're just using Disney and Kathleen Kennedy as the example, but you really can this day and age you can plug anything in there and it correlates to everything. It was so smart. Such a smart episode. And that's the thing. It's like I'm sitting there and I'm watching, I'm just like I'm laughing. I go, this is so like I have zero defense. This is so funny. And I think it's all true. And then I'm like, it sucks that Star Wars is involved in that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because we were independent for a long time. We had our 6 movies and we lived with those 6 movies for a long time. We were and I will speak for myself. I was happy that Disney took over the IP and we get more stuff, but I was completely content with what we had. So, and then to come out of the gate, like now everything is now when Star Wars becomes like a bad name to certain people, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and it could be from Hasbro. It could be for how they're dealing with IP. Like I said, slap Star Wars on it and they'll sell it, you know. Everything is becoming almost like a bad thing to do. Oh, it's going to become a Star Wars film. Oh, it's like this and that. And that's where I'm like, okay, if South Park has got it and they put it out in the public now, I'm like, well, crap. I mean, that now we hit a wall. You know what I mean? Like all we could go is up from here. You know, that's where I was hoping at that end in the episode when she gave that speech. I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking like, this is great because now, they're recognizing.
Oh wait, this is fake.
Yeah. Then I was like,
these are cardboard cartoons.
Yeah. Then I was like, oh man,
so good.
You know, and it's just like the bottom line is, and I think they do that because you know they're Star Wars fans too, and they probably are like, look, make great stories. Stop trying like I mean you don't. Nothing has to have like an agenda, you know, and unless it's part of the story. You know,
it was just, like I said,
and that's what we told here, I think, you know.
And it was good fun without taking I mean, it's a deep enough episode, but without getting into it, it's just funny as hell. If you just take it for what it is, see how the world is, see how people react to it on both sides, watch that episode. It's just funny as all hell. I
love that.
Yeah,
I laughed out loud quite a few times. Yeah, and I'm like, damn, that's really good.
Yeah, Nebulous Beat, don't turn Star Wars into Starbucks. Yeah, like a joke, you know. And Rick Jones, theory drama is always music. It is, man. Like.
How can you play something that doesn't belong to you and get pissed whenever you get a copyright strike against you?
Like make a Darth Vader movie and then get mad when you can't monetize it.
Or just play something that somebody else put out.
Anybody that attempts to do a fan film should know you are allowed to do a fan film. We the 5 of us and we could sit there and make episode 10 if we wanted to. We can do a whole fan film, but we cannot recoup or make 1 penny off of it. We can add billions of dollars into it, and they Lucas, the lawyer, they say Disney won't say they can't. It's legal, but once you go, look, I would love to recoup my cost. Nope, boom, you can't do it. Not 1 penny you cannot make on it, but you are allowed to do that stuff. And Theory knew that. He used it as his launching pad to do what he does, and he's making a very good living off of it. So I don't feel sorry for him, you know, on any level when it comes to like if it just makes him more popular when Disney goes after him, you know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm kind of hoping we get that one
sucks.
day. I want to make a little movie and try and make some money, even if it's 20 cents we make an episode. I want to go ahead and knock that out.
Yeah. Like or sample a hit song and be shocked that you're asked to pay for that. Like, how dare you?
Yeah, what?
I'm trying to piggyback on someone else.
But you see, this one goes ding 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 ding. You know,
right?
Not
so
ding, ding,
it's
ding,
totally
ding,
different.
Ding, ding. Yeah,
right.
There's another ding in there. Yeah. But I did. So look, Star Wars is no stranger to parody. It's no stranger to skit comedy. People making fun, and like we made fun of Jar Jar for years. I mean, this is nothing new, but it hit an all-time like
like a nerve, right? Like it wasn't. It's not like it was a parody as much as, hey, I'm gonna talk a little trash right here and just call you on the carpet. But then
I want Disney to respond.
All the people that are obsessed about it and lazy about it too, we're gonna hit you too. And by the way, multiverse is lazy.
I would love to.
He kept making that point, dude. I loved it. He's all, multiverse is just lazy writing. We're all sick of the multiverse.
I'm sitting there going, you know what? It's revigorated my want to watch South Park again, you know, because I've always like caught it here sporadically and everything, right? Like, even though this is my world, that they kind of like, you know, put a mirror up to it, and I was like, hey, I don't care, you know, we have a sense of humor here, and
like I've watched South Park, you know, here and there, like not like Die Hard, or I watch every episode. Have they ever done a Star Wars parody?
Oh yeah.
Like a straight
they've referenced Star Wars all the time. Like even like I think even some of the early stuff, like the anal probing stuff, had Star Wars references in it all the time. Yeah, Force Ghosts, they had all kinds of stuff, but never in the realm of calling them on the floor for their panderverse. You know what I mean? And then they just say, we have a pander stone that we touch it. We
overuse the pander stone. He says, we've been making the same movie over and over, pandering to everybody, and somehow it's not working anymore. It's just so great.
Somehow people have caught on that. Now it's like
people are tired of it. What's happening?
Yeah, Mando Mike checking in. Sorry you're at work, man, but say hi. We said hi. Hi, Mando.
They need to do a Hasbro episode. Start bashing on them now,
dude. If they did that, Ernie, I'd be like, hell yeah. Because our complaint doesn't reach their ears. It just doesn't. Like, it for some reason, we're not the only ones that say the same thing over and over and over and over to them or whatever. They just don't reach it. But if South Park would do it, maybe.
It's a number game, man. And when they hit a certain number low, they'll stop. But they're obviously hitting the units. They're hitting the units of sales they need, or else they would make a change. Right, and that's the problem. So unless everybody stops buying them, which I doubt everybody will, some might, but not everybody. And that's it.
The only way people stop buying them is when they stop making them. That's just reality. You know what I mean? People have stopped. Like I said, they pick and choose. Some people are. I don't think there's any new collectors, but they do make it very easy to jump into because. Here's these molds. We need to use them, you know. And
so let me ask this: do you think maybe they're not so much into the Star Wars line because they see all the negative backlash towards the franchise?
I think the sequels hurt them.
Why they're like, okay,
the sequels, Joey.
So much dedication.
The sequels, Joey, when those came out and they were all over the pegs, they got. My belief, they got scared. They were like, "Oh, we can't saturate the market like we did with the prequels and stuff like that." So therefore. This next Fan Friday, we're gonna put out 3 figures, not 3 figures total, 3 figures, 3 figures total per store. You know what I mean? We're not even gonna,
They overdid Last Jedi on my end, on the Funko end. Did they overdo it for Black Series? Like, did they do a ton for Last Jedi, and then really slam down?
There were 2 waves. There were 2 waves, but there were 2 waves, and then Rise of Skywalker. There was 1 wave, and it was split 50-50. No, it was split 3 ways. It was Jedi Survivor or what it was. It was the
Fallen
video
Order.
game, The Mandalorian, Fallen Order, The Mandalorian, and The Rise of Skywalker.
Like we still only got 1 Night of Ren, and that was it.
Yeah,
that was it.
Oh, we're missing tons. It's like, look, I don't want to like negate what Ernie was saying as far as like, you know, they're losing people because they're not making these figures. I totally agree with that. Like, they need to flesh out their things, and what I'm trying to go at a different look. Like I said, I'm always the optimistic. I've always been an optimist when it comes to collecting. You know, even when I was collecting, you know, like I said, from 1994 or 95, it was like they're going to make everything, and I can't wait. But I also understand that they're not going to give it to me all at once. But 10 years is like, hey, we don't even have a Hammerhead. We don't have a Weequay. We don't have, you know what I mean? So I do see, like I said, there's this funny thing. It's like, I've seen this before too. I've seen like, oh, they're writing the ship. We get like 4 or 5 figures. And then 2 years go by and never revisit those figures again. And now it's like, well, you started something. Like, why do we get Cantina band members and then everybody else is missing besides Greedo and Han Solo, right? Like that's the things that I don't understand where they come from, and I blame the people that they have sitting in that room marketing this stuff, saying like, well, we have to hit the current stuff, and is Weequay, like if we did a Weequay figure, how is that? It's just going to be a peg warmer. You know what I mean? Like I think they're too fearful. So they have an IP, they slap Star Wars, but I don't think they trust the IP. I don't think they trust it after the sequels. I think the sequels really burned them Black Series wise. Now I'm not talking, like I said, that's just that line. I'm not talking vintage or retro. I'm talking Black Series. It burned them and they got fearful. I mean,
it did too, because the vintage collection
yes,
did not get touched with sequels. Rhino Hobbies is absolutely correct.
Ernie, I agree with that sentiment, that statement more than I do someone else taking over, because I just don't think another company will have the guts to do what we want them to do. I think they'll just fall in that same trap.
What's up, Rhino Hobbies? That's what I've been saying. That's what I preach on all the other shows. And I've been saying that forever though. And it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Yeah. I know who's there and how it rolls, and their love behind it isn't there. That's where I'm saying is why we haven't got the difference through the years. They've had this for a very long time now, many number of years for doing the Black Series, where the vintage 3 3/4 was canceled. Then they realized they had to go back to that and redo it. And now they're pushing hard for that. So the team, yes, and I've said this, Rhino Hobbies, like he knows that. I've said this many a times. I'm not one to say like a new position like that. We need a rework in that team. Yeah, you really do. You go on stage and you make appearances and you cannot quote Star Wars and you say the wrong planets and you don't say that. I try and do an interview with you and I want to throw in Indiana Jones as well too. And you deny that because that's not what we're shooting here for. We want the HasLab one. Maybe next time, guy. And it's okay. So the way that they have that planned out for their Lucas stuff and who's in charge there's a difference in the love of what you're putting into it behind. Because unfortunately, they are hearing us on all of those live streams, on all the episodes, on all of the interviews. Because Marvel team does, Joe team does, and all the issues have been addressed from anything you do from collecting. It was the let's just say for small examples of your card backs on Joe's. Everybody received their Walmart star messed up. They were thin. They weren't done like the Spider-Man versions of hard card backs, or even say a Star Wars one. This is supposed to be a collector exclusive to Walmart. You messed that up. They open up their show with, hey, guess what? We heard you. We're doing thicker cards, and they're not going to be exclusive at Walmart anymore. You also get the Marvel team of, hey, we've been listening
too little
to
too
you.
late. Is that what you're saying? Like,
it is. That's what I'm saying.
And there's also a level of love that happens that is obvious with the Joe team. They know the property. They love the property. Ernie's not being petty regarding a certain somebody and his inability to regurgitate Star Wars information. It's true. If you have been a part of a team that works on Star Wars for however long Patrick and crew have been a part of Star Wars, you just know this shit by now. You should at least, and if it's just
that ice planet.
It needs a shakeup. It needs a shakeup.
Mm-hmm. Well, we did get I'm not going to name drop or anything, but we got firsthand knowledge of how their marketing team works. They don't ask collectors or fans. They ask people who are just looking at numbers and what they think would work. But nothing like if we sat and said, hey, if you gave us a 2-pack of this figure and that figure and made a pre-order and just like what Mattel has done, and this is where I do agree with like what Mattel does great. They have done pre-orders where like we are producing as many pre-orders as we get, and you have 5 days to do it. Other than that, it's over. We're never doing it again. Or we'll visit, but pre-order you can order 1 billion of them and we will produce 1 billion. Mm-hmm. But not going to be like pre-orders went up 2 minutes, they're sold out. You know what I mean? And then keep that like what Disney was doing with the annual passes, that scarcity. Oh, we're going to release 100 passes to force that FOMO, to force that scarcity. I don't think they trust the Star Wars collector. I don't think that they know exactly what it means to flesh out a line. They do have to juggle new content and old content, and they probably are scared of like old content not selling. They see how well like Mando was selling out or Ahsoka and stuff like that, and they're like, well, maybe we'll just concentrate on that. But there are pipeline things, and maybe it is too little too late. I don't know. But it seems like they are switching gears maybe a little bit at a time, like I said, with the thicker cards, going back to bubble, adding characters that we don't like, not repaints, not resculpts. I'm talking brand new things. And it seems like it's not just 1 or 2, it's like 5 or 6 at a time. So that's where I'm kind of like, and maybe that's my maybe me being a sucker, you know what I mean? Because it's like, oh crap, just as when I thought I could go out, nope, they put this, all this kind of like better stuff. But Commander Cook, thank you so much, man. Cook. Yeah, super chat. Here's some credits. Have a good night. Thank you so much, man. We so much appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
The force will be with you always.
Yeah, thank you for that. I need to get one of those. I need to get one of those.
Nice. Yeah, and I get you, Marco, on trying to be on that end.
I'm optimistic, dude. That's all.
Correct.
That's all.
And that's what I'm saying. I used to be right there with you.
Yeah.
But growing as a collector, and when it gets to this point,
sure,
changes get made.
I've grown. But here's the thing, too. I understand. But I've grown as a collector too, and I became more patient. And in the 20, 30 years that man. But I was that way. Chris and I were in the same boat when it came like, this is the 17th Farm Boy Luke. I am done. Like I am.
That's
done.
the one that got me too.
Right. Yeah. And now I'm like, hopefully I live long enough to see a full-fledged out Cantina.
No, what's great right now? One of the
plastic.
Big talks in the vintage collection circles right now is, God, all we need is a good Farm Boy Luke in vintage collection.
Yeah,
seriously, they want a decent Farm Boy Luke in vintage collection. I'm just like, if you guys were around 20 years ago, you would not sing that tune.
Oh yeah,
and it was the attack. It was 20 years ago too. It was the Attack of the Clones set. It was drove me nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I Rick Jones. Look, man, Rick Jones. This is the thing. Like when they were it goes back to like when they were introducing the Adventure series with Indiana Jones. And we were talk about it. I go, I bet you $1 billion it's the same team because it's the Lucasfilm team.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I'm like, that it's doomed. It's like and if they don't hit it, like I don't understand. I thought the Indiana Jones toys did pretty well. I didn't see sellout, but I think it was received pretty well. They had to build a artifact. They were on a thing, and it only lasted like 3 months, and it was like done. They were just done with it, and that's what scares me about our hobby, okay, because it is our hobby.
Well, they had a certain number they had to hit. Again, like you said, the numbers people don't care about what the figure is.
Yeah.
It didn't hit the unit number. They had a test. It was a pilot. Let's see if these work, even on nostalgia, right? It didn't work as well. That's it. Indiana Jones, for what it is not as big a sell as Star Wars. It's just not, right?
Yeah, it's true. Not anymore.
And you got, and honestly, and they're back to this deluxe thing. That's the other piece. Star Wars is the bigger sell than all of these. Now Marvel MCU might have actually caught up. Marvel Comics did not. You have a lot of comics in your Marvel stuff, right? A lot,
and not enough figures,
right? And that, but a lot of those Marvel guys are comic figures, not MCU figures, what most people would get. So I still think Star Wars would outsell that. I would still think Star Wars would outsell G.I. Joe. As a bigger fan base, because just looking at the movies and how they perform, no matter what, Star Wars is going to have a bigger fan base than any of those things.
Yeah.
Comics wise, not MCU movie wise, but MCU movie fans don't necessarily turn into toy collectors either.
Right.
6-inch. So I think that's why you have to pull in Build-A-Figures. You have to pull in extra accessories and stuff to sell more Marvel, sell more. Indiana Jones more than you do a Star Wars IP figure. I think. I mean, I could be wrong.
Like no, you're right, because it's like they have it on the platform now. We are not going to take chances. We're not going to take leaps of faith with certain things. We're going to go business as usual, and it's going to continue to flatline or decline while other lines are taking chances, like I said, with Build-A-Figures or more all that stuff.
Well, or is it take a chance, or is it somebody in a room? Because remember, these aren't the smart; these are the numbers people saying, "Look, these units aren't selling here, and we are way down, but we know Marvel has something. What could we do?" And then some creative said, in order to sell more, put in a Build-A-Figure. Not we're doing this for the fans because it's nice. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. We need to boost this line. What can we do in this line to boost sales? Put in more accessories. Put in a Build-A-Figure. They haven't had to do that in Star Wars because the line, as far
for
as
the longest time,
as far as the numbers people say, the cases sell.
Yeah.
So what do they care?
It's true. It sucks. as like I said, it sucks on our end. We're always the one with looking in the window going like, huh, like I say, when it comes to backlash, when it comes to all that stuff, like like I said, this is our hobby. We understand what we would buy and our price point and what we want our collections to look like and our how we display and what we do. Like I said, we've got firsthand account from that exact like what it goes on in the Star Wars marketing room, and it's not cool. It's like not good at all.
Done by marketing research, not necessarily any other information.
McFarlane
is small but killing it
for about a year, and then
peg warming. But if you go to any Target, you see the same 10,
but he's
15,
not even producing
20
any
figures
like the quantity he was like, and that's what here it's catch-22. I was collecting all in a DC universe, right? But it was small. It was like here's like 2 figures, and then like a couple of months, 2, 3, 4 figures, and then he put out like 50 figures within like 4 months, and I was like overwhelmed. I was like, all right, I can't do this. I can't do it. And then the quality got real cheap. The like you talk about Black Series quality rubber, bowed legs, the weapons were always bent. It was just horrible quality. And then now he's not putting out as many figures, and like they're peg warming. So it's like it was a good spurt. I don't know about the like McFarlane, and those Movie Maniacs are horrible. Don't buy those. They're stupid. The new Movie Maniacs one, they're statues. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
that's a tangent. But anyway, I thought he was gonna go back to Movie Maniacs. Like
you had to prune that part of the timeline right there. You almost.
I did. I had pruned it. Oh, billions died just right there. So.
That's a conversation for another day, Jake Gooding.
Yeah, so Jake is saying
it's gonna take a whole episode, dude.
If you can rewrite the last 3 movies, what would you do, guys?
Quick answer: Heir to the Empire. And then what we're getting.
I would say this: like, if you asked me in 2015, I would say I don't know. But if you asked like now, and if we just had Disney Plus to go by, I would say don't even do 7, 8, 9. We have Disney Plus that can fill in that 33 years gap. In with an Heir to the Empire movie, like, you know what I mean? I
just go here and move forward.
Yeah, I wouldn't rewrite them. I just would delete them. that's all.
I accept them still, but yes, it's just. Yeah.
I accept them, but I would delete. Like if I had my choice, I would have Cartman Kennedy come in and delete them. So.
Cartman Kennedy. Cartman Kennedy already put him in there.
Yeah, I know. I would have Cartman come in and delete them. Then how about that? Go. Just Eric Cartman come in.
It would be all Boba Fett.
All
the good Boba Fett. It'd be all
Boba Fett
Boba
1, 2.
Yeah.
And then you make clones of Boba Fett, so they're clones of a clone, so they're a little quirky. And then you've got a whole bunch of them.
Little droopy in the mouth.
Well,
something.
Yeah. If you saw Multiplicity, but with Boba Fett. That'd be perfect. Yeah.
I'd watch that.
I have a jetpack. My name is Steve.
Like I kind of feel like that's what we got with Book of Boba Fett at times.
5 different Boba Fetts going on.
He was just getting old. That was all. We had an old man Fett the whole time.
We did,
and I'll accept that. This would be a different.
We had Grumpy Fett, Happy Fett,
correct, an old man Fett,
Sentimental Fett. We had.
That's my whole day in a nutshell.
Nice guy Fett.
You got Happy Fett. You got Grumpy Fett. You got.
Well, he is a clone.
Right?
Okay, I want to say, okay, this is funny. I don't know if you guys heard this, but this is the first time I heard this, and I just wanted to bring this up real fast. I saw a clip of George Lucas talking about Django hitting his head, like in the movie, like he had the dent on his helmet. He was talking about the dent, and he said, "Well, it's I put that in there because the stormtrooper that bumped his head as an accident, it was a trait that was carried over from cloning, and it was like they bumped their heads, and it was a legit." Quote from George Lucas, and I was like, okay, this is the way this guy thinks, and it's funny because being clumsy is a trait, I guess, through all stormtroopers, and I don't think Django's clumsy. I thought it was a hilarious, dude. Like I've never heard
instead of depth perception, you can't tell height. That's
I think that's what he was saying, because the helmet you couldn't tell, and so I put that in as like a trait of all clones. So what he was saying, I guess in George Lucas's mind, all stormtroopers at that point were still clones, and they had this clumsy trait bred into them from cloning. It was like, wow. So,
tell you what, when I do get lost in those little in the reels, right?
Yeah.
I come across a lot of good interviews and things you hadn't seen before with Filoni and Lucas, and some. Oh man, how have I not seen this interview before? And some really solid
same
stuff
thing.
in there.
Like I was like, I never heard that, and it was him talking. It was like it wasn't like a made up thing, right? So
yeah, right.
It's funny, man.
And yes, man, no, Mike, you missed a good episode of South Park. You would have liked it more than everybody, but you probably would have missed the parts about you. Just saying.
yeah.
Right over the head.
Yeah. You would have been fist pumping for probably the wrong reasons. Oh man. But
Cartman, the voice of reason.
I reinvigorated to watch South Park some more because I guess this whole panderverse is not just a one-off, it's a whole thing, right? They're doing, and it started
I didn't know.
I think it is. I think they started with Disney and Kennedy. I think they're gonna have this event that continues to go on. So
it was plenty enough. It got the.
It was, dude, because it put a lot of social.
It did.
Headlines.
It was wrapped up though. By the end of it, they wrapped it up pretty good there.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was good
for Disney, But there's still a lot of issues they can tackle. A lot,
True.
Hey, let's go off tangent. Are you all caught up on Loki? Pitt, everybody.
Yes, started watching it yet.
I am.
2 more episodes, and the writer said it's the next 2 are his favorite of the series, the entire 2 seasons. That the next 2 are supposed to be nutty. And that last one was ape shit. So.
The one thing I gotta say is that sorry, that was
it's okay.
No. So stop choking me, Ernie. I hate Hasbro. No, the one thing I was gonna say is like with phase 4 of MCU, I was really like just ready to arms fold, walk away. I was like, I don't understand it anymore. I don't get it. They've lost me. I was into the MCU because it was one cohesive big event story.
Me too.
Didn't care about one-offs, especially MCU one-offs when the comics were so much better. In my opinion, on the ones that I knew of. Yeah, so it was losing me, but Loki, dude, is brought it back to where it's like, okay, now it makes sense. Like Doctor Strange makes sense. Quantumania makes sense. Where it's
you understand where there's different things going on at the same time in different places.
So now I understand what they're doing and what and Kevin Feige said it all makes sense, right? With the King Dynasty and what they do going forward. So I'm back into it because of Loki, and Loki is done well. It's still convoluted in so many ways, but you're starting to get it, starting to unravel.
I got Jess to watch it, and she says the same thing. She's all, I don't understand half the stuff they're talking about. She's all, but I'm stuck in this show.
Yeah, that's it. It's convoluted as hell, but you're like, okay, I kind of get this. I kind of get it, So
because you're just waiting for him to change gear, and you're like, and that happens, and you get a surprise here and there. And Miss Minutes is ape shit, and
then how it I'm not
great.
Miss Minutes is great, total character reversal. What I thought, and then how it ended, I'm sitting there going, oh my god, what are they gonna do?
What's gonna happen? This is love it. And
are you watching Ernie or what? Are you waiting?
No,
dude, I totally ended with a holy shit last episode.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Yeah,
I just
was
sat
like
there,
that too. I was like,
it goes to black, and I'm just like,
yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, we're 2 more to go.
Yeah.
What is happening?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
This year's Disney Plus has been on fire. It really has.
I love the introduction of OB.
Mm-hmm.
Victor
great.
Timely is cool too.
Yeah.
Yes, the Miss Minutes flip out. That's awesome. Oh my god, dude, the Back to the Future nod, that was so good in there. I'm sorry, did you catch that, Chris?
Yeah.
I'm trying to
scale model. The scale model. I'm sorry, I didn't have time. It's not to scale, and I didn't have time to paint it. Exactly like Doc Brown and the other one.
Yeah, no, I didn't. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah, no, it's all yes.
And I didn't have time to paint it. I was like, oh my god, dude.
I love Temporal Loom and OB saying it, and it sounds like Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom.
Yes.
That's why he never says it again after that episode, right? He says it like twice, and I'm laughing. I'm like, did he say Temple of Doom? And then it's just the loom after that.
How important he is to the story and how he plays it. Dude. It's so good. So there's a bunch.
Good.
I love Loki, but I liked it from season 1 as well.
Oh, I did too.
Me too.
And now season 2 is blowing me away.
So
and I get what was the last one? Secret Wars? Was it Secret Wars or was it
Secret Invasion?
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Okay, I watched it. It was the story, but it wasn't like Loki.
Right.
I mean, that
Loki
was
brings
cool.
it back
You
to
know
the
what?
MCU. It brings it back to the.
That's a good point. The scroll shit is going on right now too. You have
Yeah.
Skrulls and Kang going on at the same time, one or the other, dude. I don't need
Well,
both, right? I
that's
mean,
that's the thing, right? They're setting up because now we're about the timeline. There's the sacred timeline,
Yes.
and then there's
Correct.
and then they come out where it's like the sacred timeline doesn't even matter anymore. So now we can have what the Avengers and Thanos did, and then we go on this other tangent timeline where we can have the X-Men and Fantastic Four, and they never interact. Which that kind of disappoints me. If they
already though, from that introduction of saying how huge Thanos and everything was, and then we saw the all of the stones there.
Yeah,
and Loki freaks out. Remember?
They just
using it as a paperweight.
Yeah. It doesn't matter here, right? Yeah.
That is, that is crazy to me. So, like, to throw that out there, and then what we get, it's everything.
Yeah.
Joe, have you watched Loki at all?
Not to one episode.
Oh, really?
Not season 1 at all.
See,
I liked it.
Yeah,
yeah.
Loki's the best thing they got going, man.
I tried watching season 1. It's not for me.
It kind of threw you off,
and it's how we're gonna after this. This is how we're gonna mix all the universes, right? Because you guys heard about the Miss Marvel cameo, right? Did you guys hear Miss? Do you want me to say it? Is anybody gonna watch the Marvels?
I'm gonna go watch it.
Do you mind if I say?
I am.
Do you want me to
That's
throw
a chance
spoiler?
for popcorn.
I'll stop a spoiler then, or do you care?
Go ahead, but just give a chat a chance if they don't want to hear the spoiler.
Chat 5,
in 3,
4, 3, 2, 1. Beast from X-Men. It's Frasier. What Kelsey?
Oh, okay.
So now we'll have Professor X has been in one. We'll have Beast in this one. Wolverine is going to be in Deadpool.
In Marvels.
Yeah.
Why is Beast in Marvels?
Because they're partnered up still. No, Beast was in. Oh, because she's going to get kicked into a different timeline. Nova is going to get kicked into a different timeline, and she's going to wake up at the X Mansion
where the mutants are.
And Beast is going to be there. Yeah, and then she's going to turn around. Kelsey Grammer's there. Boom.
I can get that.
They've mixed up universes, so it's going to be multiverse stuff again in the Marvels, whatever's going on.
Okay. I hate that multiverse stuff. It's lazy.
Yeah, man. And that's why I can't wait for Deadpool, because it's going to be the most fun multiverse crap and make fun of itself and make fun of the entire thing.
Yeah, I felt like
and it works.
Did that to point a finger at Marvel too, doing that. DC and Marvel with
totally
the multiverses.
Will.
But that was our Beyond the Pit segment, by the way.
All right, that was fun.
We go. Oh yeah,
we're all nerds here.
Yeah,
every once in a while when
I say give it. Dude,
I will.
Dude, I was.
Loki was great.
I'll probably start this week because there's nothing else on. So
I'll
start watching Loki. And now I don't feel like there's such a long wait to the end. It's only 2 weeks away. So.
Next week. Yeah.
I mean, if Night Court's not on, then I guess I'll watch it.
Oh, rest in peace, Bull.
Yeah.
No, man, that's like I said. It's one of the few things. Guardians, Loki, and Deadpool have me hit.
Kept us in the mix. Yeah.
So the new rumor today. I'm gonna just keep talking MCU for a second. Did you see? The rumor is they're bringing back the old Avengers cast through all this for one movie.
No,
that was including the dead ones, including Tony Stark and including Black Widow.
Really?
So that's
I saw that today too.
Yeah, that's the next supposed secret.
To me, when I read something like that, I'm like, how?
It's going to be the Flash of MCU, like how it's just going to everything's going to blur, and then we're going to get into this other thing.
It'll be a branch somewhere, like Loki started off. You know what? It didn't hit me until this week that this Loki is not our Loki. I know he's a variant. It says variant on his back, but I've been watching him so long. I'm like, oh, you know what? This is not our Loki.
Ours died.
Ours died.
And he's seen it. As I rewatched season 1, you see him go through it all. And he sees his future. I'm like, oh man. This is not our Loki anyway. This is so wild, this story, that it's some other Loki from a different universe screwing with everything.
Well, that's why they were going to prune. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, they were going to prune him at the very beginning of season 1. So it's
it's so good. So that throws it out there too. Because what is this timeline? Because ours is dead, and he's calling this the main timeline.
Yeah.
If you think about it that way as well, too.
Right. Yeah, that sacred timeline, the Avengers were supposed to do what they were supposed to do. He wasn't. So he created a branch. They pruned the branch, didn't prune him. But then, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's all a mess.
Like I said, it's very convoluted. It still is. Yeah,
but since he did that right there, wherever the timeline's constant, right? They said it happens again and again because that's the way time flows. and that's what Mobius says. So it's gonna at any point the Avengers survive, and then they bring them back into the movies easily.
Yeah.
Well, what does King say? Right? See you soon.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And he was saying that, so it's like, yeah.
Oh man,
it's good, and like that. If you can make it continue on, and then we have timelines like that, and that's how you're gonna explain stuff.
Well,
cool.
And then you just start doing one-offs with crossovers once in a while, like a comic book, right? Then you start having one-off. You're doing all your standalones, boom, 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 and then just one big. Didn't have to build to it. Just boom, it's a big super crossover.
I would like though an introduction of Loki, introducing that, right? So like, look, Loki jumps in. Where am I? What am I? What world, and that's
and then we go.
He quantum leaps into everything, like he's in every branch.
And then now we have.
Oh my god, I have a feeling that would be Deadpool's job, because he has the time deal, right?
Oh, he does.
He has Cable's thing, which I assume is why he ends up at the TVA, because he's screwing with time anyway, right? So
sure,
I can imagine him jumping in a different universe and seeing all the new casts.
Well,
this is going to be this one.
Yeah. How do you get to the TVA? You have to be a variant, right? Or Kang
they're going to pull. I think they're going to have to pull him in because he's jumping time.
Kang has to pull him in, right? Because that's
right.
Yeah.
Didn't he go back? He went back and killed himself playing Deadpool. He went and did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So he's screwing time up all over the place.
How come they didn't prune him?
They're gonna.
Maybe they do. Maybe they pull him out. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, dude. It's like it's becoming to a point where it's like I can't keep up on this, man. Let's just
but now with a couple of good shows, it brings it back. I was out. I was completely out, dude. I mean, Wanda was okay, Winter Soldier was okay, but there was very few great things coming out.
Wanda was great. Yeah,
Wanda was okay. It took me.
I thought it
was disappointing.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go like where you have the MCU timeline, and
it was all right.
I liked Moon Knight. I liked Hawkeye.
Hawkeye was good.
I liked Hawkeye a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Hawkeye a lot. It was fun.
Mando Mike's asking about Quantum Leap. I don't know.
No.
Season 2 is coming. The first couple of episodes of season 1 are all I watched, and I was out. I just.
It's so funny. It's like today's talk when it comes to like programming. It's not like in the old days where like, oh, it's on Sci-Fi Channel. Oh, it's on ABC or no. It's like what streaming service is on, and I don't have it. So you miss so much. Like Paramount Plus.
Quantum Leap is on NBC. It's on Channel 4, but
it's a regular cable though. Network. That's what I'm saying.
Stream.
But nobody has cable.
I do.
But my whole you missed my point.
Yeah, I got you.
It's not a It's.
I look up streaming, and then most of the series, the really good, like a lot of the good series you hear about, aren't on cable TV. They're on the streaming services.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no. Dude, I get Quantum Leap from right here. It's like
I get 1 month subscription sometimes just to watch the series, and then I'll bounce out. Like Yellowstone usually is when I jump in for Paramount Plus, and I'll get it and I'll bounce out. Jess has been into a couple of shows, so I haven't been able to get rid of it. Right, so I'm in there. Peacock, I was in there for something, watched it, jumped out. And I'll keep doing that, right?
Same.
Disney, I'm in for the long haul because I don't.
Yeah, Disney, I won't cancel that. Yeah.
Quantum Leap is on Peacock, and it is a continuation of the original Quantum Leap. They talk about Sam Beckett and all that other stuff. I just don't care. It's that ship sailed a long time ago. I don't care.
Everything's nostalgic. Everything's bringing something back instead of making something new.
There's no new original cut except for the new Disney movie Wish, which is actually pretty interesting. So. It's like that whole Wish Upon a Star that they made a whole. They're making a big thing about this being an original concept movie, not a redone or like a Snow White or whatever. So I was like, well, that's cool. At least Disney has still got that going for them. It's like original.
It looks like a real cartoon too. It doesn't look like a overly CGI'd.
Yeah,
I have to check it out.
But no, this was fun. It's great to have different point of views on a lot of issues, especially even when it comes from mainstream into our world and whatnot. And it's almost like when Saturday Night Live does a sketch about your favorite things, and they just bash it, but at the same time giving it life and giving it whatever. I felt proud. Not proud, but I felt scared that South Park turned their attention to us. And I say us because it is our world,
I think it's funny when mainstream media makes fun of it. I think that's cool. But it parodies it. I think that's a cool thing. What I don't like are the Instagram pages that constantly do it. because and then they make their living off trashing Star Wars. You do
the
it once
ones
off
that
the parody,
fist pump
you do it all the time
because
you're
of
being
it.
lazy. Yeah,
Yeah, the ones
exactly.
that go like this, yes, take to the streets because this is so. I mean, the ones
Like you
that
want
take
a
it that
battle,
serious.
it's just funny. That's all it is, and it makes you laugh. And
that's what
take
it is.
for
It's like
is.
giving the haters that fist pumper, like, oh
Yeah.
man, I get it, but at the same time, I don't want you to.
At the
have
same
fun.
time, they're also not paying attention to the other things being said in the episode.
Yeah, of course. It's that's the
They hear
one
what they
thing
wanna
that's
hear.
focused. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll revisit the Hasbro situation as it unfolds. So it's like a whole thing. So we'll see, man. I don't know.
Always is.
And Funko, a battle droid.
And Funko, yeah, give Chris a battle droid,
please.
You sons of bitches.
He got Thrawn this year. Can we get this guy a battle droid?
Now I'm getting 3, and I went from having 1 Thrawn that was worth like $150 to all of a sudden there's 3 Thrawns. And it's like, you know what? I don't need 3 Thrawns. And why
also, you're getting the sideshow Thrawn, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the sideshow.
Are you gonna get it?
You're
Dude,
so
it
looks really good. It looks better
than he looks better than the
That one
TV
looks
show, dude.
very good.
Like
it's scary good, right?
Like
yeah, that's a
Hot Toys.
Fantastic figure.
Yeah,
I
Hot
don't
Toys
know how
are
I
good.
could not do that.
Yeah.
you have to
See,
get
Ernie,
that.
I would give up all my collection and just buy Hot Toys. I think
I've slowly started to.
tried.
Yeah,
I tried.
Right.
I can't
Yeah.
do it.
So I'm making more decisions than that, especially with they have payment plans. If nobody knows
that's
that.
what kills me. 2:00 in the morning.
Correct.
I can do that, and then
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't
All
do
of
it
this
times 5.
exists.
Yeah,
Yeah. They
My
have
problem
payment
was-
plans and everything. You're again the growth. You're getting more. Oh my god,
Yeah,
it's super. But it's just that price though.
It
But when
is,
you
man.
do a payment plan, it's like that.
Yeah.
But
But my
again,
payment
you
plan
know.
was like that times 5, so it was still $300 a month.
yeah, no, it's true because then you're right. Oh, I'm gonna get Thrawn. I'm gonna get Hera.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get
Like
you
I
know,
said,
this Ahsoka,
So good.
and then your
Yeah.
3 payment plans are all that, and you're doing $200 a month. What is
right,
going
exactly.
on?
Oh
Yeah.
man, I better. Go
I
to
had
sleep.
I had that Kenobi Vader, man, and then back
I did
out
too.
on that. I wussed out and gave up my
I
deposit.
canceled that too, man. Like I had 5 I was paying on, and I just canceled them all except for Bespin Luke. And it was not just because I was like, well, I just don't want him anymore. It was just like I gotta pick and choose at this point because Classify was killing me. Just He-Man was killing, everything was killing. I was like, oh, whoa. So
Yeah.
yeah.
He gets a
Oh,
lot
the
with all
Return of the
those
Jedi
stupid
Vader.
pre-orders.
I have that Return of the Jedi Vader. It's really good. That was my first hot toy, I think. Yeah.
Mine's Empire.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Mine's
I'm
Empire.
sorry, mine's Empire, but it has the removable helmet. So I guess I don't know what you would call it then. If it was
Yeah.
Empire
Did you guys
or-
get the Kenobi Vader that just came out
That's
at
the-
Target? Speaking of
I-
Black Series,
Oh yeah,
it's-
I got that.
Oh yeah, Black Series, yeah.
I missed that one. I need to get that one.
That one's a good one.
I need to find
That's
that
a-
one.
that's
I
a
heard it was really
really-
good.
The detail on that
Really
dude
good
is
Correct. See, and that's a cool, nice figure, and I'll
Yeah.
get that because it is different.
yeah.
It
Is that
was
the
good.
definitive Vader?
No,
Mm,
that's the battle damage Vader. Come on,
It's the
Chris.
definitive battle damage Vader. Yeah.
yeah.
We still need
Okay.
the Mustafar Vader. We still need okay.
Oh my god!
Actually, I do have it, but
Yeah.
all right, guys. Well, this is great. Like, I like how our timeline splits too. We go from like MCU to like, toy collecting.
we're fairly well rounded.
Yeah, of course. Anyway, thank you everybody. I'm gonna kick it off to Ernie to kick us out of here. I hope everybody had a great Halloween, safe Halloween. As we get into colder weather. I know our schedule is gonna be a little bit taking off a couple weeks. Yeah, wonky. So of course, like and subscribe because and stay connected to see when we go live. But Wednesdays are the time we do it. So with that, if everybody has anything last minute things to say, okay, cool. Now, Ernie, that was my pause. So thank you everybody on my behalf. Ernie, take it away, man.
Yeah, thanks for everybody being here. I did see some new names tonight. Thanks. Like Butcher said, please hit that thumbs up and then hit subscribe and hit the bell for notifications and hit all so you don't miss when we're on. Because besides Wednesday night, we do have a lot of reviews and tons of other stuff for you to go look at or catch up on. If you like this Star Wars talk and the diversity of it, there's plenty of shows to go catch up on. Let's see. Haters are going to hate, but more of us will appreciate. That's right.
Bar one.
Damn
That's
straight.
right. Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Thank you to Tashi Station Emporium. Speaking of that figure talk, for all of your loose figures to get them standing right, you need those figure stands. that they have.
I need to do a mitten box stand. How about that?
Collects everything. It's just the packaging. You need to do some.
Just the
packaging, right?
Black Series packaging. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Ooh,
there we go.
Tosh Station Emporium.
I heard they're pretty cool.
.com.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're all right.
I say they.
Mooch doesn't like them that much, but
yeah,
they're
I buy NECA. The big, they're like this big. One figure.
Those stands that they have, for $20 a piece.
Yeah. You want to get how many on the shelf? 3 figures per shelf.
Again, Tashi Station Emporium.
6
the
foot.
link is right below. Check them out, and thank you to them. Join our Facebook Star Wars community over there on Sarlacc Digest as well. Look that up on all social media, from TikTok, Twitter. I haven't seen Chris that much on Twitter, unless he's fighting behind the scenes. I don't know.
I'm there, but I'm not fighting anybody.
He's our meme master
good.
on Instagram.
Well,
lately.
sometimes.
Yeah.
I slowed it down just because you don't want to overload people.
It's Halloween.
Yeah,
dude.
it's very true.
It's
very true. Yeah.
You
And then you can follow us at all our social medias. It's located right underneath our names, right there. Please. Well, TashiStationEmporium.com. Butcher doesn't like them. The Artist Scott Solo, Bootleg Joe. Start that over there. So. You'll find him at Sarlacc Digest on Instagram or Twitter. And then me, the Fallen Fett. And what else do we got going? Please, thank you very much. Who was that tonight that sent the super chat? Who was that again?
That
hit that star.
That was Commander Crook.
Commander Cook. Yeah, thank you so much for that. We greatly appreciate that. Or you can be part of our Patreon and join the Patreon for what's our next incentive for?
Well, everybody on the $10 level, we got your t-shirt orders in. Those t-shirts are going to get produced and sent out to you ASAP. Right now, every level of Patreon, they get older episodes that are back from the pre-YouTube days. You can just hop on there and check out an older episode. We also have
like
an
when
occasional.
Chris cries.
That's right. That's coming.
Chris cries.
That's coming. We also have the Indigestion podcast, which is kind of our after talk that happens every other week or so whenever we decide to record one. It's available to all of our Patreon members. So, and we have a new vote for a Shadow Council episode is up. And one of those options is the People versus Hasbro, which I think we almost pretty much covered in this episode already. So
oops,
we can do it again.
Strike that one.
We can do it again. That was a preview. No, that was just a preview because we can really
what we could do. Right. Yeah. So we're talking full on trial. We're gonna put Hasbro on trial if
we should do
that
a Thunder Court
in.
episode. We should do a Thunder Court episode where somebody's a judge, somebody's a prosecutor, somebody's a defender, and then we got witnesses, and then the pick could be
the jury.
The jury.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at Joey coming up with the sweet ideas.
How the pod race is so important.
Join the Shadow Council today.
Join the Shadow Council today. That's right.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Sarlacc Digest Podcast. Sorry. Take it away, Ernie.
There it is. No,
yep.
That's it. I just wanted to make sure they get all the information. They know that we're trying to give them that extra for being a part of it. We're just not taking your dollars and cents and then getting Chris into the hair club for men. That's not happening here. We're actually giving you something back
off the table.
We don't want hair.
Yeah,
hair is this is the way to go.
Hair is
well, you can see,
or just for men.
Well, we tried it for Mooch, and you see it just
for men. This is all natural, baby.
I had it dyed black for the Halloween party on Saturday, and I felt horrible. I was like, you know what? I miss my gray.
Horrible.
Yeah, I had it was jet black, and then I'm like, no, I'm gray now. I need my gray back. I went and
man,
that shit right out after.
We got that time to do that stuff. That's
it don't look like me anymore. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm like, oh man, I'm so old. But when I colored it, I'm all, you ain't that dude no more, dude.
Yeah.
You're black. Let's get it out.
Yeah, I did it one time, and I felt like I was in the witness protection program.
Yeah, it felt horrible.
You're not that guy.
No,
Trust
that
me.
guy no more, man. Not that guy. Hey, do you think Commander Cook is a play on Jesse Pinkman? I just realized when I was thinking up there. I think that's instead of Captain Cook. I think he does Commander Cook. I need to ask him next week. I think that's pretty clever now. I was thinking, why is it last name, or is he playing on Breaking Bad? Anyway, go ahead, move on. Sorry.
Maybe
I say the Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, let's just go with that. How about that?
Yeah, it makes it cooler,
that's
right?
in our wheelhouse.
It does.
That makes it cooler. Makes him even cooler for doing a super
even if
chat.
it's not, it is. Yeah.
It is now.
All right, cool.
But
well,
for everybody in the pit, join us next week and remind us to ask Commander Cook that, because I know you'll all be back next week,
what's
and we will see you
behind
then.
your name, right?
Same Star Wars
And we'll
time,
forget.
same Star Wars
And
channel.
we'll forget, yeah, of course,
For sure.
Like, subscribe, tell a friend. We'll see you next week. And with that, Scott,
everybody keep it nerdy.
Oh, you threw in at everybody. Really threw me off.
I did. I threw it off.
That's not on the shirt.
My bad.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.